moving on to topic number 8. Can't wait to move on from this and skip Taysom Hill. Is F1 winter testing is now in the books. It's finally done. There's a shot of some of the cars. You got the Mercedes there, the Ferrari, the Red Bull, and the McLaren. So they got winter testing done at Bahrain over the course of 3 days. And the first day, the morning session was great. There was a lot of running they got done. But in the afternoon, a sandstorm came through and kind of really shut down most of it. But then the next 2 days, got a lot of good running and got to see really what some of the top teams are looking like and got to see what some of these new drivers are looking like in their new digs.
Yeah, I think there's 2 big stories that come out of this, at least, is that, number one, Red Bull's very happy with what happened during testing. Their cars ran really well. They were very happy with everything. I know their executives were like, just let's start the season now. You know, they are like ripping and ready to go over on Red Bull side. Obviously, you know, Sergio Perez coming over and driving well too. I think that helps. They're just very excited about the season to start. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mercedes didn't have a great testing session. You know, Mercedes didn't do great. Lewis Hamilton spun out a couple of times, said he just didn't trust the car at this point. And I know this is one of the shorter off seasons that F1 has seen in a long time because of the pandemic. And, you know, Lewis Hamilton came out and said, you know, we just got a lot of work to do before we start the season, which is in, I think, 9 or 10 days. It's going to be starting up for F1. So, you know, that's got to be a concern for Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton and some of their drivers as well. You know, just the fact that the cars didn't quite perform the way they wanted them to, and the drivers weren't totally comfortable with these Mercedes cars. And then I know that Yuki Tsunoda, I think his name is, had a really good, you know, sort of rookie testing couple of days. I heard that he, you know, he's a 20-year-old Japanese driver. He drove really well, you know, for a guy like that to kind of come onto the scene when you got a Sergio Perez already driving there, when you got a Lewis Hamilton. That's pretty cool for a guy like him, and I'm sure he's a guy that we're going to be watching once the season gets going.
Yeah, no, Yuki Tsunoda is my pick for Rookie of the Year, and I'm calling it now. So when he does get that award later in the year, we can say, yeah, Brandon, you're right, because this guy's amazing, and they brought him into F1 for a couple reasons. Obviously, to secure Honda going forward and to secure the Japanese fans with Honda. But this guy is extremely talented as well. He's a really good driver. He's going to push the car to the max. And he teams up with a Pierre Gasly, who I think that makes, honestly, one of the better teams with those two in the AlphaTauri. They're going to be looking strong with that Honda-powered engine car. But I think Mercedes is the whole thing where, you know, all of us old F1 fans are saying Mercedes is kind of doing what they've done in the past and just kind of pulling a rope-a-dope. And they've done that in the past where they really do not show you completely what they've got in testing. And you know, it's kind of like sandbagging it. And I don't want to put a joke in there because obviously there was a sandstorm during winter testing. But yeah, sandbagging it a little bit and not really showing exactly what the car can do. Where on the other hand, I feel like Red Bull was trying to push it to kind of see what is capable with their car, with this new Honda engine that they've built in-house, and with the new driver, Sergio Perez. So you got to see really a lot out of that Red Bull, and they are definitely going to be fighting and be at the front of the grid. But do not get it wrong. Mercedes will be there. They had a tough few days, and definitely Lewis spun it, put it in the gravel pit one time. They had to get pulled out of there. But I think it's one of those things where just kind of testing the car out, hey, seeing what we need to do. And when you have two great drivers like a Bottas and a Hamilton, they're telling you exactly what needs to be changed with this car. So over these next 2 weeks before the Grand Prix, you're going to see this Mercedes change and really come to life. And so when I'm expecting when that first Grand Prix comes, that they're going to be up there fighting for the win. And I think Red Bull will be up there fighting for the win too. I think it's going to be an extremely exciting first half of the season, seeing what these new cars can do and what these new drivers can do. But I don't know. I'm a huge Mercedes fan. I can't hide that. But I'm looking forward to seeing the battle between them and Red Bull. I think it's going to be an exciting season.
Yeah, no question. And then you got to think these drivers and these other cars are saying too, like, you know, we really respect Lewis Hamilton, but we want to knock that guy off his pedestal. I mean, he wins so much that they're just sick of seeing him, in the victory circle. So I think that all these drivers and all these, Sergio Perez with Red Bull, some of these other guys, they're excited to try to, knock Lewis Hamilton off the top spot there in F1 racing. So that's gonna be a lot of fun when the season starts in just over a week. It's gonna be exciting. Almost like a welcoming to spring too when F1 starts too. It's almost like spring training baseball, F1 racing. We'll be in the middle of March Madness. It's a lot of fun.